der Sheikh Nasim, der hat zu ihm gesagt, wenn du stirbst, oh mein Sheikh, dann gib mir Erlaubnis, dass ich nach Medina gehe und da mich vor das Grab des Propheten einfach so hinsetze und warte auf meinen eigenen Tod. Dann, also ich will nichts mehr machen, nur am Grab des Propheten bleiben. Dann hat er gesagt, nee, crazy Europe, you have to go crazy Europe, crazy people in Europe. Du musst nach Europa, nach England, hat er ihn erstmal geschickt. Also ab 1973 ist er verstorben, 1974 ist er zum ersten Mal nach England und dann immer jedes Jahr, immer im Ramadan. Jeden Ramadan hat er in England verbracht, praktisch 25 Jahre. 26 Jahre, ne? Bis 2001 oder so. Und ja, und dadurch sind ganz viele Leute überall. Ne?
Mhm.
Und wir sind, also meine Familie und ich, wir sind, haben den Sheikh getroffen, erstes Mal 1979 in Damaskus. Wir waren in Mekka, wir sind ausgewandert, wir sind Muslime auch geworden. 1975 haben wir Islam angenommen, so offiziell praktisch diesen Schritt gemacht. Und vorher waren wir schon so mit Sufi-Sheikh, mit einem anderen Sufi-Sheikh, nicht mit Sheikh, ein anderer war das, verbunden. Und das hat uns dann zum Islam geführt. Und dann sind wir 1979 sind wir nach Mekka ausgewandert. Ich könnte auch Englisch sprechen, nicht? Weil die Safir, die spricht kein Englisch.
Mhm.
Ist es okay für dich, wenn ich Englisch spreche?
Ja, schon.
Ja. Also 79, 75 we accepted Islam. 78 we migrated, so to say. Our intention was to make hijrah, to go out of Germany, out of Europe, to live there, somewhere there. And our first station was Mecca. 1 year we stayed there, learn Arabic and things like this, and visit the holy places, make Hajj also the first time, 78, with the small children, and so with everyone. And then came the news that Maulana Sheikh Nazim, he was in Damascus that time, and there was one brother, he knew him, one American brother from our, we were maybe a group from 6-7 people, and this one, he knew Sheikh Nazim, and he went in the holidays, in the summertime, he went with a Volkswagen. You know Volkswagen?
Yeah, sure. I have one myself.
You have one. War auch mein erstes Auto.
Yeah.
He went to Turkey with his wife, and he had to go through Syria, of course, Jordan, Syria, and in Syria he met Sheikh Nazim in Aleppo. There was a derga in Aleppo at that time. He was mainly in Damascus, but he was just happened that he was in Aleppo. There was also a derga, a zawiya, and they met Sheikh Nazim, and they stayed there for one night on the way. And during the night, this Ibrahim is his name, the American. He had a dream, and he was seeing in the dream Shahu Naqshband. Shahu Naqshband is one of the greatest sheikhs from the golden chain of the Naqshbandi way, you know, Naqshbandi Tariqat, you know, coming from Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam over Abu Bakr Siddiq, then so on, and then in the 15th century, coming Shahu Naqshband. He was so powerful that from that time his name was used for this. Before it was named Siddiqeen, after Abu Bakr Siddiq, die Siddiqeen-Kette.
Mhm.
And up nach Shahu Naqshband, then it was Naqshbandi, up to date, Naqshbandi Tariqat. And was wollte ich jetzt sagen?
Der Bruder Ibrahim,
Wie?
Brother Ibrahim.
Yeah. He was seeing in the dream, there was a throne. On the throne was sitting like a king, big or majestic appearance. It was Shah Naqshband. In the dream. He was looking to the face of Shah Naqshband, and then the face changed into the face of Sheikh Nazim. Then he looked Sheikh Nazim, changing the face to Shah Naqshband.
Yes.
Then changing to Sheikh Nazim, like this. Changing, and then in the end stays Sheikh Nazim, his face, and Sheikh Nazim gave him something in the dream, but he couldn't see what it was. It was something he gave him in his hand. And this was a dream. And the next morning he was telling the dream to the Sheikh, and Maulana Sheikh, he was saying, that is a true dream, it is right, what you saw is right, and the reason this changing the faces, that is because of the unbroken silsila, unbroken chain from Shah Naqshband up to me. It means there's always a secret was given to the next one, Khalifa, and there was no break in between. Because you find many lines, Naqshbandi lines in the world, but they don't have that same consistency. You know, somewhere is broken, somewhere is unknown, and then there are so many branches. It's okay, no problem. You know, but the main thing, you know, it's only one, because you have from a king inheritor, you have many princes. They inherit something, but one crown prince. There's only one crown prince. Crown prince is only one who is becoming the king. This is a principle from God, from Allah Almighty, how He created it. It's a principle. It's not changing. Also in this tariqah, it's not changing. It's always one taking the Khalifa. You know, and this is what he was seeing, and he was explaining. Then this Ibrahim, he said to the Sheikh, and you gave me something in the dream, you know, and he was hoping that he gives him something spiritual, you know. But Maulana, he's so funny, or he was so humorous in his life always. He put his hand in his pocket, taking out some Turkish money, because he knew that he is going to Turkey, and he is also Turkish, Cyprus Turkish, from Cyprus. His mother tongue is Turkish. He take out some Turkish money and gives this to me. Look, here, this for you. This Ibrahim, very disappointed. He said to the Sheikh, oh Sheikh, I was hoping something else, not money you give to me. Then he said, okay, I give you Be'at. I give you the initiation, you can say, the initiation into this tariqat, you know. I give you the initiation. I give you Be'at. This is how you say, act, Aqad is Ahad is a Vertrag, ne? Vertrag.
Contract.
Of oath,
Oh.
Schwur.
Yeah.
It's an oath of oath of faith, oath of
Treueschwur.
yeah, oath of faith.
Yeah. Oath of allegiance.
Yeah. What the companions also gave to the Prophet 2 times in his life. You know? This is. He gave this, and then. But that time our Sheikh was also his Sheikh. All of us, we were with Omar Ali Shah as a different Sheikh. Still, we were with the other Sheikh. And then he wrote a letter to us. He told that story. In the letter, he sent a letter to us. We were in Mecca and he was traveling. And then he told us the story, and we said, how he can change the Sheikh, how he can. You know, we were very upset, you know, with him. How he can do this, you know. Give a bear to another Sheikh. We have another Sheikh. What he's doing, why he's very upset. He didn't know, you know. And then finally he went also from Mecca, he went to Damascus to the Sheikh, and then also we went. All of us, one by one, we went. And when we saw the Sheikh in 79, we understand why he's why he's giving the oath of faith to this Maulana, to the Sheikh. You know, because he's such an appearance, he was such an appearance, you cannot escape or deny. It's like the sun on in the sky. Oh, you alone in the sky, like the sun. Come, ya Maulai. No? It's wie Islam auch. Islam ist auch so, ja. Islam ist eine Sonne eigentlich. Und für wen es geschrieben ist von Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for whom it's written, he will accept the sun, because it's the sun. You cannot deny the sun. No? Today, mashallah, look, mashallah. You cannot deny. Or you say, you deny. If you don't accept, then you must deny. Hmm? There was a story, from Rumi, he was telling one story. There was a hawk, Falke, Falke, a hawk going traveling. He is tired and he see a community of birds, something like birds. He goes down and asked them for us. They were Fledermäuse. Bats. Community of bats. He landed there. He's asking them, can I rest here and so on. They said, yes, welcome. You're welcome. And it was dark, it was nighttime, you know, so he rested. They gave him to eat everything. And then in the morning he said, he was saying to them, oh, my friends, thank you very much for your hospitality. I am going now on my way. With your permission, I am. And they said, what are you saying? That this is coming the daytime. How you can? Now you cannot go. No, the daytime you cannot. Only nighttime you can. In daytime you don't see anything. It's impossible. You cannot go. He said, no, my brothers, don't worry. I know I travel all the time, and it's no problem for me. They said, don't say this. Otherwise, are you crazy? What are you saying? We will punish you. Don't do this. And he said, no, come on. I'm really. What are you saying? Don't keep me. He said, we will punish you. We put you in prison. Don't say such things. This is not true what you are saying. Keep your. Then he realized he cannot say anything. Otherwise, they kill him also. So he stay up to the next night, and then he said to them, with your permission? And they said, yes, now you can go, no problem. You know, like this, people, they are like this. Yeah, this was Maulana, he was like such a son, you know, and yes, then we stayed with him. It was maybe a few days or 1 week or 2 weeks. We gave Beha to him, all of us. We gave oath of faith to him. And since that time, we were with him, and so 1980, we take him first time to Germany. We invite him first time to Germany. From England, after Ramadan, he came to Germany. Germany, north, south, east, west, Switzerland, Austria. And we went by car with him in Yugoslavia and up to Istanbul. And so there's many places and many people everywhere you can find. And he traveled the whole world, of course, everywhere. find communities. There are Muslims also. You can say they're Muslims. There's nothing special. They are Muslims. We are Muslims. We try to be Muslims. Yeah. But it's not easy, you know. The Grand Sheikh Abdullah Darastani, he was once in a train from Aleppo to Aleppo, or was it Homs or Hama maybe, to Damascus, in a train. And there was a Majzoub, you know, this crazy, diese Liebestrunkenen, Majzoub. There's many in the Orient. Here also you can find. And then this one, he was funny. He was always, when he saw someone with a turban, he was making them angry. He went to these sheikhs, you know, the alims, the learned ones, and he said, "Are you a Muslim?" You know, and they were very angry. They said, "Oh, yeah, you don't see my turban. I'm Jewish or Christian." No, very angry. He always makes this fun. When he saw the Sheikh Abdullah Darastani, also he had a big turban, and he went to him and he said, "Are you Muslim?" And he was waiting. But the Grand Sheikh, he was saying, "Oh, my son, Muslim, I am trying. All my life I'm trying to be Muslim. Inshallah, I hope one day I become a Muslim." Someone who is, what is a Muslim? Someone who is surrendering. He's giving his will to the will of his Lord. Not to his ego, but to the will of the Lord. And he was already 100 years that time. You know? And he says this, you know. But this one, he was very clever, the Majdoub. He said to him, "Are you Naqshbandi?" He was not, he understands, you know. And then Grand Sheikh was also saying, "Yeah, my son Naqshbandi also, inshallah, I try to find the Naqsh. The Naqsh, you know, the Naqsh ist ja Stempel, kannst du sagen, Stempel, Imprint. Manche sagen, es ist auch ein Design. Ja, das ist eigentlich Allah. Ja, Allah als Stempel im Herzen. Eingraviert sozusagen. Ja. It's a stamp, sagt man stamp? Ja, ne? In the heart. I try to find this Naqsh and I'm still looking, inshallah I will find it. Now, this is the right answer. This is the answer. And that's what I'm saying. We try to be Muslims, but the Sheikh, the reason for the Muslims they are in a disastrous situation, disastrous Zustand.
State.
Huh?
State.
State.
A state.
A disastrous state now. Disastrous. Also, it is really very disastrous. If you compare it with maybe 800 years ago, you know, in Cordoba or somewhere, anywhere, you know, they were the big, you know, every knowledge came from them. All the knowledge. We are standing today on the knowledge of Islam, with our culture, with our science, with our everything, with our knowledge. It's based on, if Islam wouldn't bring us the foundations of this, we could not develop. You know? That was power. It was power. And
you were going to say why it is so disastrous.
Huh?
You were going to say why it is so disastrous.
Yeah, the reason that the power is going from the hands of the Muslims is that their character, the character of them, getting worse. Before, it was, for instance, an alim in the Prophet's time, anyway, it was like this, but also the first 1, 2, 4 generations, let's say, yeah, after the Prophet also, it was still like this, that in alim, you wouldn't listen to him if he wouldn't do what he's saying. And if it was not known that this guy is a truthful guy, he's truthful, this man. He's a truthful man. And he's doing what he's saying. He is Sadiq. He's from the Sadiqeen. Yes? It's written in the Holy Quran, be with the Sadiqeen, be with the truthful ones. It's the order for any Muslim, any human being. Kunu ma Sadiqeen, also from Sadiqeen. It's an order. Be with the Sadiqeen. And that is the basic. Then, after the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, maybe 100 years, yes, it is getting really obvious that things are out of hand. There is rulers, they drink alcohol, they make with ladies luxury, everything, palaces. It's starting. You can say in one sentence, they love the world. They start to love the world. They allow themselves to love the world and to keep the way of the world, dunya. And before, the teaching of the Prophet and of all prophets is not to put your heart in the world. That is the main teaching. And this this happened, and this was reported in the time of Hassan al-Basri. He was a saint also, Hassan al-Basri, from Baghdad. He lived in Baghdad. He was teaching in Baghdad. And there was one group, they lived ascetic, just the contrary of these people. They make it very important to live ascetic. And they were wearing wool, suf, on the body. It was not, it's very rough, tough for the skin. It was known, and they'd eat very little, and so they lived that style. And they were called Sufis. There is a name there is a time when the name Sufi come up. They call them Sufis. The Sufis. What are the Sufis? Yeah, they are saying to the others, you are wrong, you are on the wrong way, you are on the wrong way. It's not the way of the Prophet, it's not the sunnah of the Prophet to love the world, to indulge in all these things, but to keep love of Allah Almighty as the most important thing in your heart. And they practice this. They practice it. Make the practice still. And so they were called Sufis. That is where the name comes from. But it's only people who keep the sunnah of the Prophet, you see. And then it is was, how you say, as everything in this world, it was instituted, or wie sagt man? It was
institutionalized.
Yeah, institutionalized, so to say. This tariqat thing, that there's 41 tariqats, that the Prophet, he gave 40 different secrets to 40 secrets he gave to Sayyidina Ali, and one to Abu Bakr Siddiq. And from there spread, from Sayyidina Ali, 40 lines, these tariqat lines, Sufi lines, and one from Abu Bakr Siddiq, the Naqshbandi line. That is the main thing. And I'm saying the reason, as much as if you are with Sadiqeen, if a Muslim is with a Sadiq, he's okay. even he himself, he is not perfect and he makes mistakes or whatever, but he is okay basically. As long as he has a sheikh, you can say a sheikh, or teacher or what you'd say, it doesn't matter. And he's listening to him and following that one and following orders also. If there's orders, or so that this sheikh or teacher or whatever, he can help this man or woman, also ladies, on the way. That is important. If you don't have that, you are lost. One of the big sheikhs, Abu Yazid al-Bustami, he was saying, if you don't, or who has no sheikh, his sheikh is shaitan. Shaitan, because every human being has a heart, and in that heart, Allah created a place for guidance, especially. Everything was created by God. Also, there is a place for guidance, so that you can be guided. Otherwise, how you do it? You can be guided. And if that place, you have to have a guide. Guide must be a good guide. Must be a good one. Must be a truthful one. If he's not truthful, he leads you to bad things. If he is truthful, really truthful, Sadiq, he leads you to God. If he is praising Allah and he's living for Allah, but if he's giving advice to follow the dunya, then that the one is wrong. So, and the Muslims, they lost this point. They lost this point. And there's two main reasons why they lost this point, historically seen.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Na, wie ist es?
Alhamdulillah, sehr gut.
There's two reasons, historically seen. One is the Wahhabiyin. They managed mainly to get the people away from this point that you have to have a sheikh, a saint. There should be saints, the sheikhs, you. They deny this thing, and they spread with their petrol dollars all the world. They make them, the whole Muslim world, they make them sick through milliards of dollars. In 1 year they spent, well, I saw on the television, 78 Milliarden, 78 Milliarden für Dauer, so ihre Sachen zu. 78 billions to spend for mosques and for their teachings, and their imams they put everywhere. So everyone is corrupt. They say, yeah, give me the money, make a mosque for us. Yes, and then you take also the teaching from them. This is the problem. And the other problem is with the Turks. Ottoman Empire was okay up to 1920, and come this Ataturk, and he was working for the West, mainly working for England, for France, to finish the Ottoman Empire, which was always okay, and the first thing he did was when he came to power, he closed the tarikats. He closed the Sufi gatherings. Up to date, you can find in the law of Turkey still that it's forbidden to wear a turban. It's forbidden to make zikr on these things, you see, still. That was the first one, because he knew this shaitan, he was very clever also. He knew that the centers, Sufi centers, they are the fountains of love. They are the fountains of love, so they are the fountains of the power of Islam. If you destroy them, you destroy Islam. If you leave them, you cannot destroy. And he cannot. destroy. But he tried to do this. He killed so many sheikhs, he killed them, he closed all the dergahs, all of them closed. Up to date is still forbidden officially in the books, law books. And so he makes them from that side also the people, they are after some time, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. Then he make a big thing that he was finishing the Sultanate. You know, he said there is no Sultanate. Up to that time was the flag of the Prophet was there. The flag of the Prophet himself was there. He managed to say, finished, put it into the museum. It's now in the museum in Istanbul, lying there. You know, it's a big thing. So that is the reason that the Muslims are in a very bad state, you know. Otherwise they are not in such a bad state. If we had a sultan, things like ES could never happen. Or Al-Qaeda or Taliban, could never happen. If a sultanate, a sultan would be there. No, cannot. But this step to finish, just to say it's finished, he say it's finished. How he can say also? But the Muslims, they didn't, already that time they didn't fight him. And that is very bad. So now it's going down, down, down. We are still on the way down. There is ignorance. And they will save, what can save people is to have a Sadiq, you know, as their leader. A true one as their leader. Or a saint, you can say. Sufi teacher, Sheikh, saint, whatever you say, he must be truthful. If he is truthful, Sadiq, he is also a saint. He has the rank of a saint and the character of a saint, you can say. And to that one, even you don't follow him, let's say, or you are not a murid not a close disciple or something, but at least you have to listen to him. You know, if I am a Muslim and there is someone, I have to listen to him at least, or to respect him at least, it's the least. But they don't do this anymore. They are so ignorant, and many people, they are fighting also against the saints. It was always in the history. Why they killed prophets? Because they are unbelievers. Shaitan people. They kill prophets. So many prophets killed. No? We know this from history. Saints, en masse, killed. Why? What wrong thing? Can you tell me one wrong thing they did? One? No, we cannot. They were only good for people. All the time they are helping people. That is all. They want the best for the people. That is all what they did. And then they were killed. Because from the shaitan people, from the egoist people, from the unbelievers, they want their ego. They don't want to leave their ego. Their money, their power, their gold, this luxury, they don't want to leave it. Or to give some of it away to poor ones. They don't want. So they deny the Sheikh. And the only one you can really, if you listen and you can hear something from him, that is, you can make something. When they speak, they give something to the heart. You know, that is the thing. They don't speak only from mind or what, teachings or this or that, interpretations. No. They speak from the heart because they have the connection, direct connection. And if a community is listening to such a one, they are blessed. Any human being who is listening to such a one, he is blessed. He goes away, blessed way. That is. But they don't listen. But you are listening, as that Sheikh said. If you have no Sheikh, your Sheikh is Shaitan. That means you have in your heart a point where you're listening. You listen and you follow. that every human being has. Unbeliever, believer, kafir, mu'min, doesn't matter. All people of the whole world, they have that place in the heart, they listen and they follow. Mostly they listen to their ego, desires of the ego, and they follow the desires of the ego. And with shaitan together, shaitan gives them like the fire for the wood for the fire. You put the wood in there so that they are going. You know, that is, they listen to TV, they listen to, now it's very modern to find, they are discussing Islam and the YouTube and the Google, I don't know, Sheikh Google, you know, there's a new Sheikh, Sheikh Google, you know, and they are looking from there to get something and saying, this is, look, and I have from the internet. Stuff, this is Islam. You can get it from YouTube or from Google or from what? You know? No. They read all kinds of things. So there's disastrous, it's a disastrous situation. The only thing is to find such a one and to change the way, you know, to tawbah, to make tawbah, you know, to change, you know, to work on the ego. Islam is to work on the ego. Religion, any religion actually is to work on the ego, not only Islam. Before Islam also. It was the main, you can, in one sentence, you have to work on you have to put your ego down. Otherwise, for what you want religion, you know, for what? Ja, so. Das ist der Grund, oder?
English or German?
Huh?
English or German?
German.
Okay.
No, English.
Still there. So either people start looking for a sheikh, looking for truth, looking for religion, or it needs to be promoted somehow. And I think people looking for it so far are the exception. That's what I see, at least. This is not the time for lots and lots of people coming, looking for things, looking for solutions.
No.
And of course, there is no such thing as a coincidence when people come to look for it. But the numbers are still very low.
Very low.
And therefore, my question, just like a question, not necessarily to you, but generally, is how can that be promoted?
You cannot now. As you are right. And it's the same. You will find only very, very little people. Very few people. And you can promote only in your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, personal. What is coming to you, Allah sending someone to you, you know, like this, you are promoting without intention to promote, you know. It's natural, you know, it's just natural, but it's not the time to make big changes. You cannot. You know, there are saints, there is always saints in the world, in this world, mostly hidden now in this time, but there is a special number of saints, always. And each saint, they have the power, potentially they have the power they have spiritual power to finish the battle, to finish wrong things with one breath. From the potential, they have that power. You know, they can say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And from here to the whole world, all the world, finish the. That is the potential of them. But it is not. Everything has to do, or has to happen, with bi'iznillah, with the permission of Allah. Because over everything there is His plan, and this situation belongs to His plan. So, and the Prophet, he was, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was saying something for in future. In that time, he said, he was talking about the end time, akhir zaman, that there is ignorance. He predicted everything. There, really everything. There is not one thing you cannot. You find everything that he was speaking about. You know. Also that this is a time of ignorance. Second time of ignorance. You know? First time before him, and now it's the same again. And this will only finish when Mehdi alayhi salam, he was speaking about Mehdi. You know, he was saying, there's a famous hadith. He say, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, my time is the best time for people. It's the best time, most glorious time. After me, and then or the next time after this, coming the time of the four Khalifas, rightly guided Khalifas, Khulafai Rashidin, Abu Bakr Siddiq, Sayyidina Umar, Sayyidina Osman, Sayyidina Ali. You know, after Khulafai Rashidin coming Muluk, time of Muluk and Amira, Umur, شو اسمه? What means princess? Umarat. Time of Umarat. Also Sultane, Könige und so weiter.
Ja.
Ne? Lange Zeit. Ne? After that, when they finish, the time of Umarat is finished, coming time of Jababira, of tyrants. After, when the king is going, coming tyrant. After the time of the tyrants, coming someone from my family, he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his name is Muhammad al-Mahdi. He's from my family, and he has this and this and this, some signs, many signs, clear signs, and he will. We have to look at. There's a book we can look it up. What is exactly what he said? There's many, maybe 50 hadiths about this. You can find. And that he will have the permission when he comes. He get the permission to use the divinely power, which the saints they have also, but they cannot use it. Only in limited way, as Allah gives permission, but not to change the world. You know, this is from Mehdi alayhi salam in his time, and it's written that Mehdi alayhi salam comes, that there is a big war coming before. Like this, Armageddon, big war. What is his name? Mahama Kubra, no? Huh? Yes, Mahama Kubra, the biggest war. Then comes Mehdi alayhi salam, then Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, coming second time. And then some predictions up to the Yom Al-Qiyamah. There's predictions, you know. It's like this. We are in this time now. So we have to be patient. Patience.
I was going to say I'm not.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not.
Yes.
I would like to see something different, not necessarily only for me, but for the world as it is. Especially because there are so many people around who call themselves Muslims.
Yes,
and do exactly what I see as the opposite of what Islam actually is.
Opposite. As I say, this is
that makes me very impatient.
Huh?
Yeah, that makes me very impatient.
Yes. No. That is our task. Our Sheikh, he said, when he was living, he was saying to us one day, maybe not so long ago, maybe 10 years or 15 years, I don't know. He was saying to his murids, to his pupil, everywhere, disciples, he said, I don't give you any special tasks or exercises, because before was more with exercise, everyone was going spiritual way, that was more powerful, hundreds of years ago, you know, was more. And he said, today it's not like this. Make what you can, but I give you only one task. One thing I ask from you, nothing else. He said, you must carry, you have to carry. You have to carry the things around you and within you also. You have to carry it. That means with the sabr, with the patience. What you need to carry is patience. Second, thankfulness. The main two pillars of, iman, or to continue in your way, is thankfulness and patience. That is the most important thing. And when you have this and you use it for you and your surroundings, as we say, you cannot change. I cannot change anything. I cannot. If I go to the mosque in Blankenheim, 20 kilometers from here, or 15 kilometers, I come like this, and they are looking at me. Was macht ihr denn da? Macht Zikr, Hadra und das ist alles nicht Islam. Wir sind Islam mit unseren Anzügen und Schlipsen und Plastikturban. Wir sind die richtigen Muslime. Die sagen nicht, wir kommen mal zu euch, wir könnten was lernen. Nee, wir sind überall fremd. Ich war immer fremd. In Deutschland fremd, schon weil ich Muslim geworden bin. Ja, in Germany I was a stranger. When I came to Saudi Arabia, I was also a stranger. They didn't accept us. They said, you are German, because when we were left from Frankfurt, from the airport, we put our Western clothes into the dustbin. And we put on so long shirt and wild turban that time. Like this we went into the aeroplane. Because we said, now we're coming to the Kaaba, and yeah. And when we came, they looked at us. You are German? They said, no, you are a spy, Israeli spy. They didn't believe us, Yes, like this. You are a stranger wherever you go. It's like this. It's like this. You have to accept, and you must be patient. You have to carry, and you have to, for what? To develop yourself. You must look your heart. Most important thing is your own heart. Most important thing is your own way. You and Allah, your relation to God, your relation to the Prophet, your relation to your Sheikh, your relation to your brothers and sisters. But the first is the relation to God. And that is a heart thing. That is a heart. It's a question of the heart. This relation. That is the most important thing, and for that you have to look first. This is the first thing. Then, because by this you prepare also the time for Mahdi alayhi salam. You must be prepared. When he comes, he use divine power. This is not a joke. Divine power is not a little power or something. No. It's a big power. Why from 60,000, the Sohbat from Daud alayhi salam, from 60,000 in the desert, he went to the desert to have place, 60,000 people listening to his Sohbat, 20,000 dying on the spot, 40,000 coming back home. It's Ghazali, he was mentioning this. Because they becoming the light so strong that their soul directly up, finish. Like a lightning. Hoch und Körper direkt liegen geblieben. Ja, 40.000 mussten 20.000 begraben in der Wüste. Und das war okay, ja, das ist ein schöner Tod. Ja. Ich meine, wenn du so stirbst, Alhamdulillah. if you die like this, no? This happened also in the Naqshbandi Tariqa. There's many stories that murids died like this, but also enemies died like this. There's many stories. You can find in Rashahat, Ainul Rashahat. What is Ainul Rashahat? The eye of Ainul Rashahat. What is Rashahat? Rashid from.
Eine Rashad.
Yeah, Ein Rashad.
Eine Rashad.
The Eye of Guidance?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a book, there's traditional stories from the Naqshbandi Sheikhs. So, one of the, we don't have many books, but this is one. Oh, maybe we have very little translations. But there there are some stories that people died, on the spot, from the soul. Some were doing wrong things against the sheikhs, also they died. And some of them, they died from ecstasy, It was always. No, but this is only a sign to understand that you prepare your heart also, with the sheikh, if you have a sheikh, he prepares you for that time, When Mehdi alayhi salam is coming, he's working only with light and with the divinely lights and divinely power and divinely miracles, nothing else.
May I ask you something?
Yes.
Of course, you've been to Saudi Arabia on the Hajj. I haven't done that yet. And I find it very difficult seeing myself traveling to a country which, in my view, claims to be Islamic, but to me is sort of the opposite of it.
Yeah.
So you have to go through that,
Very difficult now.
through that
Nowadays.
tunnel to go to the Kaaba and do the holy rites that you have to fulfill.
That is our situation. That is a situation. We can understand. Yes, but the thing is that you have to go to Hajj. You want to. Your intention is to follow the order of Allah Almighty. That when you have the possibility, you go to Hajj once in your life. That is what you're doing. The situation is like this. You have to carry it. That time, all times was different difficulties, traveling difficulties. Also, it took them 1 year to go to Hajj. Some of them, coming from far, or half a year. Many died on the way because it was not easy. And today you have other difficulties, also very difficult. What you're saying, because everything is against Islam. They make everything against Islam, the Saudis. Against the Hajj, they make against the Hajj, Against spirituality, and you have to go through it, if you can,
I imagine that being with people all around you, say, 90% of the people around you believe something completely different from what you believe yourself. That creates an atmosphere that also pierces through your shell, really. That's something I'm afraid of.
No, they believe the same. So on this level, on the head level, we believe in Allah, and we believe in Allah. We believe in the angels. We believe in the books. We believe in the prophets. We believe in the Day of Judgment, and we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He was creating good and bad. It's the 6 points of Iman, of belief. And if you ask any Muslim, he will say, yes, I believe that. But reality is something else. What is in your heart, that is something else. Or how you believe, that is something else. To make a realization, a Verwirklichung, realization of your belief, that is something else. Yes, that we want to. That is why we are here, and that is why we have a sheikh. We want, because that iman, what I just said, belonging 6 points to the iman, that is, if you say this, but it is taqlidi. We call it taqlidi. It's imitation. It's an imitation. You say from here, yes, I believe in Allah, and then you say, yes, you make your sajda, or you make hajj, or you make this or that. But it's all rituals. It's rituals first. How your heart is with it, that is another question. First, it is taqlid, it is imitation. You say, I learned this, okay. Like when you become Muslim also, you say, Ashhadu an la. You are convinced, yes, it is good. There is a point in the heart from sincerity and believing. But then, you are in the dunya, dunya and mind level, mostly. No? And to come to the Iman Hakiki, from Iman Taqlidi to Iman Hakiki, it is a way. From imitation of Iman to the reality of Iman, that is something else. And the Prophet, he was describing this. You can find everything with the Prophet. He described it. He described, there are signs. If you have real Iman and Allah opens for you this, His reality, His being, to be alert. Wir würden sagen auf Deutsch Bewusstsein, Consciousness. Ja, ein Bewusstsein, echtes Bewusstsein, Öffnung. Das ist was ganz anderes. Then it's starting the real Iman. To have to be, you may look in the Akhirah. This is one of the signs of a real mu'min, real believer, where it came true in his heart, this opening, this reality of Iman. He looks in the Akhirah, in the Barzakh. It's written, it's confirmed in the hadith of Salman al-Farsi. You can see your relatives, your grandfather, great-grandfather, you can communicate if you, and you hear. There is one sign. The second sign is, for instance, that you hear inanimate. We are saying inanimate things making zikr. Yes, there's a very famous story from Prophet, report, not story, report. Salihin, also wie heißt es? Sahih, also confirmed. That they heard that the Prophet, he had some stones in his hand, and there were some companions, and they heard the stones making zikr. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah. They're making zikr, the stones. Coming from the Prophet, of course, it's coming from his heart, but he showed them to the companions that they listen. It's one of the signs, and there are some more. You see, this is, for that, to open this thing, for that you need a Sheikh. Dass das aufgeht. That this is opening, This way from the... But first you imitate. It's okay also. Irgendwann kommt, there's a time, and Allah knows this time, and knows when it is happening. He leads you to openings, spiritual openings. That is why I'm saying you must concentrate on that. There's a trap. It's a trap from Shaitan, If you say, I don't want to go to Hajj, let's say, as an example. I'm not saying, no, you see.
I'm just saying what my problem is about.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not saying I'm not going.
Yeah,
I want to
know.
go, you see.
Yeah. But, we went 10 times or 11 times. And our Sheikh was advising us. He sent us to the Hajj, He was sending us. One year he was saying in England, he said, they're coming a Saudi to him, and he said, look, I give you $5,000. I think it was, yes, $5,000. You can send 2 murids, 2 people from you, disciples, to Hajj. Or maybe 3. We can look. 5,000. And the Shaykh said, yes, give me, thank you very much. Allah bless you. Then he called me and he said, look, Hassan, here you have $5,000. Go to Germany. That was that time was 10,000 marks that time. Was 88 or before 88. Maybe 87 or 88. Change this money, 10,000 marks, and buy an old bus. for 10,000 marks, put 40 people inside, and
Off you go.
go to us. Who is this? Take from everyone 500 marks. You know? And we took, but most of them, they couldn't pay even 500 marks. So we did that. So 88 we went the first time with that bus. It was a historical Hajj. I think nobody did this except our group. With a bus, own bus from Germany to Mecca. I haven't seen that they did it, anyone from Europe. And no hotel book, nothing booked, nothing, just going, repairing every country. The bus broke down, it was very, and they were under the bus more than up the bus, And in Turkey, they make also miracles with repairing, sleeping anywhere, but visiting every maqam, every saint, every prophet, on all the way, up from Istanbul it starts, all the way there's hundreds of saints and hundreds of prophets. And then Turkey, southern Turkey, then to Iraq, Mosul, Yunus, Sayyidina Yunus, then Baghdad, Abdul Qadir Jilani, Abu Hanifa, Abdul Khadir, so many saints. All of them we visit. We take our time, Take some weeks. And it was 50 degrees also, it was summertime. In Iraq was quite nice, warm. And we had a cook, he was cooking in the bus also, in the last row of the bus, putting a fire to make it more hot. Crazy, was a really crazy Hajj. But very nice, was the best. Then we enter from Iraq, we enter to Saudi, and there was miracles, many miracles, coming to Medina and Mecca, and on the way back we went to Jordan, and from Aqaba we went to Egypt. On the way back to Egypt, visiting Sinai, then Berg Moses, Mountain of Musa, Jabal Musa, and then Cairo, and from Cairo also we went to Jerusalem. It was perfect. It's a perfect Hajj. When you make Jerusalem after Mecca, Medina, you visit, that's perfect. That also we did, and then finally we take a ship from Alexandria, because we want to go from Egypt to Libya, and then Morocco, Tunis, Algeria, up to Spain. That was our intention, but it was closed, the border was closed. They had stress that time. Libya, Egypt was closed. So we went by ship to Venice, Venezia, with the bus. Why I said this? Because, what was it?
We started with Saudi Arabia, how to go there, and you mentioned that you got this sum of money to buy the bus.
Yeah. Get some spirituality, to pray, to things, to live community life. I can understand, and when I was saying to you, okay, you are welcome, but in my heart I was very ashamed. I am ashaming, because it is not according to what you normally imagine from such a place, from a Sufi convent,
Oh,
Here everything is chaos. Spirituality, you can look here under the carpet, maybe you find, I don't know. And we have people like this brother, Jamaluddin, they have all problems. We became a place for, not that the people come here for spirituality, also sometimes they come for some events, that is true. But normally during the week when there's nothing, we have only people, they have problems. Drug problems, psychological problems, money problems, like this. And they have, all of them, what they don't have, don't have a place to stay. You see? That is why we, and we open. There is a rule There's one rule in Derga rule, Zawiya rule, Tariqat rule, for such a convent, that you're accepting anyone coming anytime, and you accept him for 3 days, so that that person doesn't have to pay or to work or to anything. No, he is free guest for at least 3 days, giving him place to sleep and to eat, you know. After 3 days, the rule is that someone may pay something, if he can pay. If not, he can work something, you know, some hours. That is a, and we are applying that rule actually, and not looking to. We are not making a difference between people. We don't say, "Are you from Tariqat? Do you have a Sheikh? Do you this, that?" We are not looking. Even we don't look for religion. We had met some Christians, sometimes Christians coming here. One was living also up in the room for some time. But you know, like this, we don't make differences. So that is the situation is not so like you would imagine, maybe.
No.